All right, greetings everybody. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over quizzes and the lectures. Make sure you understand how to prepare for those so you're successful in the course. So let's begin with week one, going right here. After you're done with reading the syllabus, signing up for CELI, taking the orientation exam, you will be ready then for the first set of assignments. First, you want to start off with chapter 1. After you're done with that, you're going to begin preparing for the first lecture on Reconstruction. And then you'll be able to take the quiz. So let's just start with chapter 1. You click here, read through the content. All right. And then from there, you can choose to go through the lecture if you like at this point, or you can go through chapter 1 quiz. I would recommend going through the lecture, but either way, when you're ready to take the quiz, it's available to you. The quiz contains 10 questions, randomly selected from the test bank. You got a 25-minute time limit. You can take the quiz up to 4 times, but note your average score will be recorded, not your highest. Your average score will be recorded. So do to keep that in mind. And then once the due date is passed, do go to the gradebook, check your submission. This will be hyperlinked, your score right here. And once the due date is passed, it will explain which questions you got right and which questions you got wrong. That could be very helpful for the exams and later the optional final exam, which I'll explain in just a little bit. But yeah, that's just a way of making sure that you understand some of the content there. Okay, but that's the quizzes. Pretty straightforward. Now for the lectures, a couple of things to keep in mind here. You're not submitting these essays into an assignment link. What is going to happen is during the exam, a number of essays will be randomly selected, and that's all laid out in the syllabus, how many essays will be randomly selected. You want to be prepared before you click begin on the exam. And to do so, you want to visit the material required for each lecture. So beginning with lecture 1 on Reconstruction, let's click here. Again, each lecture has a learning objective. So for this one, there are 4 learning objectives. You'll begin by clicking here, learning objective 1, discuss the 2 constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction. Your response should be at least 1 paragraph for this particular learning objective. Here's a video for it, and then there are lecture notes available for each learning objective. Again, what you want to do is you want to prepare a response for this particular learning objective prompt here as you're going through the material, both in the video and in the lecture notes. When you're done with that one, you'll move on to learning objective 2. Same organization model here. When you're done with that one, learning objective 3 gives you a hint of how long the response should be. A paragraph, again, is anywhere from 3 to 5 sentences, generally speaking. And then you finally get to the last learning objective. Collectively, learning objective 1, learning objective 2, learning objective 3, learning objective 4. The responses for these learning objectives will be the response to the essay prompt. Let's bring that on up again right here. This is the essay prompt. All right, so when you take an exam, if the essay prompt is randomly selected for Reconstruction, this is what you will see. This is basically a general prompt for the entire lecture. The learning objective prompts isolate even further the specifics in order to help you respond to this essay prompt. If you don't include each learning objective response to those prompts, your grade, you won't earn as high as a grade as you would like to. So make sure that each learning objective is responded to respond completely to the actual essay prompt. Learning objectives are simply segments of the lecture, and they have prompts that will collectively allow you to respond to the entire essay prompt. So make sure you understand that. A lot of students, sometimes, not a lot of students, just some students, enough students, let's just say, don't realize that each of the learning objectives, and again, they're located right here, are required. So I just want to make sure you understand that. Please let me know if you have any questions. Some, not all, essays or lectures have a study guide. So this one does. So use them in order to prepare. Other than that, I think that's about it for that particular one, right? And they all work the same. So when you're done with week 1, you're going to move on to week 2. And in here, you have a chapter quiz. Right, you'll click there, read the chapter, take the quiz, and you also want to prepare for lecture 2, the West Placer Process. Organized in the same way, there are learning objectives, and you want to make sure you respond to each learning objective. That's the way all of the lectures work. So if you understand that, you will understand how to succeed in this course. When you're ready to take the exam is located exam 1 is located in week 2. So you will click here. It's giving some guidelines on the on how to take an exam. This is just basic further explanation. I'll leave that up here. This is from the last semester for my students, but it applies to you. This might be helpful as well. These are just guidelines on how to take an exam. So have that there for you. But basically what will happen is there will be 25 questions from the previously assigned quizzes, randomly selected from a test bank, and then one essay will be randomly selected from lectures 1 through 3. One essay, again, will be selected. It'll either be Reconstruction, the West Placer Process, or Social Darwinism. Right, as you complete that, and again, all of these exams must be opened in Lockdown Browser. Not the quizzes, but the exams. So if you are taking an exam and it asks you for a password, that means you're not opening it up in Lockdown Browser. So make sure you open it up in Lockdown Browser. Okay, let's see. Course content, week 3. Okay. So again, it's all organized the same. There's sometimes just quizzes available. Sometimes there's lectures. Like right here, July 26th, it's just a couple of chapters and a quiz. You're not preparing for a lecture during that day. Now again, these days that I have here are suggested guidelines. Everything's open now, and I highly suggest not sticking to the schedule for the sake of sticking to the schedule. I highly suggest working ahead of the schedule if at all possible. It's a quick semester. There's a lot of content, even though during the summer quite a bit of the content is eliminated to make room for the fast pace of it. It's still quite a bit. Now note in exam 2 that 2 essays will be randomly selected. 2 essays will be randomly selected, one from Reconstruction all the way to the Progressive Era. So by the time you're ready to take exam 2, in other words, you will have prepared essays for the following lectures. And so by then, you want to make sure that you are ready for those because it'll randomly select. You don't know which one it will be ahead of time. Again, you can use your notes, just no electronic equipment on this. Let's see. And then just to show you how we progress, going to week 4. All right, organized the same way. When we get to exam 3 for week 4, 3 essays will be randomly selected from the essays that have been assigned thus far. Finally, when we get to week 5, all of the lectures will have been assigned, so there will be 4 essays, or I'm sorry, that's the optional exam. 3 essays will be randomly selected, and it will include all of the essays that have been assigned thus far. And then go back to what I was looking at here. Note here, right, Optional final exam. Let's just click here. There's two parts to it. The first part just deals with the quiz questions. Whatever you earn on that will be applied to all missed quizzes or low-scored quizzes. And then the same thing for the optional final exam, part 2. Basically 4 essays will be randomly selected, and this whatever you earn on that will be applied to any missed or low scored exam towards the end of the semester. So it's kind of the last saving grace right there. The thing you want to keep in mind with the exams, they are going to be you will respond to them during an exam, a timed exam. So the more familiar you are with them, the easier these exams will be to manage. If you don't have any notes, or if your essays aren't prepared ahead of time before you begin the exam, to click begin so you could type into the window when the essay is randomly selected, it'll be a challenge. But if your notes are in order, you've prepared the essay ahead of time, the course is quite manageable. You just want to make sure you, at the very least, keep up with the schedule, if not work ahead of the schedule. By all means, please do not get behind the schedule. If you get behind the schedule in a summer class, things get pretty difficult. But other than that, I think that will do it for orientation. Got it in 2 videos. If I'm missing anything, I will update you as the course commences. But other than that, just keep with the schedule, read the chapters, prepare for the lectures, get ready for the exams, make sure you understand when all the due dates are, and you'll be fine. Do get me on Selly if you have any questions or concerns, and I will definitely respond back to you. If I happen not to respond back to you, don't hesitate to respond back to me. It's never my intention to ignore students. So something went wrong if I don't get back to you within no more than 6 hours. So usually I get back to my students pretty quickly, within a couple of hours, if not sooner. If 6 to 24 hours goes by, I don't mind if you get back to me. All right, that's all I have to say. I'll talk with you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.